The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts right now.
And welcome to The Factor Uncensored. We start off tonight with the transgender community here in Houston, likely on edge due to a recent murder. A transgender woman was found dead inside her apartment in Houston. Police say she was shot several times and was found by her boyfriend. No arrests have been made as of yet. The Human Rights Campaign has some sobering stats on transgender murders here and around the country. Last year, they peaked at 56 nationwide. In 2020, that number was over 40. Members of the transgender community are on The Factor tonight to talk about it.
I mean, it's sad because the numbers are doing nothing but rising. And the reality is that it's also because of media doing their part in reporting these murders the way that they should be reported, but sadly it still goes on to where they're not reported accurately. But the thing that scares me the most is the reality is that, you know, these murders are taking place, but where's the justice that comes with them, right? So the people who are murdering these folks are still out there on the loose, which means that they can murder anyone else. And that is a huge problem or concern for me.
And Joel, do you think that's part of a law enforcement problem, that they're not going after these suspects as aggressively as it would, say, to someone else?
I think it's a law enforcement problem. I also think it's just a broader societal problem. It's a problem that society views women of trans experience, specifically Black trans women, because Black trans women are the ones being murdered most when we're talking about the deaths among the trans community. And it's a societal problem that paints the picture and the narrative that Black trans women in the trans community overall are expendable.
And why is that? Why are we seeing more Black trans death, Dee Waters? I'm sure you have your theories.
Well, I mean, so there's multiple reasons, but one of the most important things, and I agree with Joelle, as she was saying, is that one of the things that we have to look at is that 45% of Black women have experienced intimate partner violence, right? And so what that looks like is that we as Black trans women or women of trans experience, Black women, we will have those same type of numbers, right? So for me, it's not something that's unexpected. It's one of those things to where we need to come together and figure out what's going on and why is it that whenever we as Black women, Black-bodied women, whether or not it's a trans experience or not, why is it that the people that we're in relationships are murdering us? What is the problem? How do we have that conversation? And I think that that's where we really, really have to start at and create resources around that.
Joel, is it part that some of these individuals may be living double lives, or those who murder transgender females, particularly Black females?
So that's an excellent question. I think the misconception is that these people that are committing these murders against trans women, and I'll talk specifically about Black trans women as I feel a personal connection to this question and to this topic. The misconception is that these are strangers or these are people that don't know the women. But actually, reports show that over 60% of murders of Black trans women, when they do find the killer, it's someone that has been intimately involved with a woman. So it's not someone that is necessarily undercover or down low, as you know, as some people would like to say. It's someone that is involved intimately and has an ongoing intimate relationship with the woman, and it's other societal and social determinants that cause them to inflict these violent acts.
And what can society do to address this? One of the things you said was this was a societal problem. And if society is not ready to embrace transgender females, then the problems will continue.
I completely agree. You know, I think the first step is to really educate. It's really to educate and really understand. I think that there are so many misconceptions about even what a person of trans experience or a transgender person is. So I think the most important thing is education. Even when we're talking about, you know, outside of the murders, you know, our Governor Abbott, who is attacking trans youth through his misinformation, through his bigoted transphobia. A lot of that is rooted not just in his transphobia, not just in his hatred, but it's really rooted in miseducation and misinformation. So I really think that the number one thing is education, and also our allies, the ones that are supporting us, the ones that are loving us, the ones that are our friends, they need to also be on the front line, because this is not just a trans woman issue. This is not just a trans community issue. It shouldn't just be the Dee and the Joelles that are fighting this fight. It needs to be our allies, the ones that could really fight for us when we're not in the room and we're not able to fight.
And Dee, what about your first community, that being Black people? Are they accepting? Are they embracing?
Well, the sad part is no, but the reality is that one thing to really think about, Isaiah, is that the person that will murder a Black trans woman is the same person that could possibly murder a Black cis woman. And I really think that people need to allow that to sit in and understand that murder is murder. And there's no justifiable reason for someone to murder someone. And so whenever we stop from looking at a way to justify the murders, we have to start telling people that, hey, it could have been you. It could have been me. And most importantly, if there is someone who is out there that has done this, has committed a murder, where are they going? What are they doing? Who will they see next? What if they're sitting in your living room? You know, it's something to really think about. And so in all actuality, if someone is willing to murder me as a Black woman of trans experience, they would do the same thing to my sisters who would be someone as a Black cis woman. And that is something that we should all be concerned about.
And Dee, what would be your best advice to the public who may be watching this but don't quite get it and are not willing to even try to understand?
So if they're not trying to understand, then I invite them to just continue to do what they're doing. Because one of the things is that one of the hardcore facts is that, guess what? Just because they're murdering Black trans women does not mean that they stop murdering Black cis women. So the reality is, Isaiah, that this is going to cross their path at some point. And sadly, when it crosses their path, the only thing that I can say is that I hope that they will be able to get justice. And sadly, what's happened so often is that they won't, right? And so the reality is that if someone feels like they don't want to understand this, then I invite them to not try. Because at the end of the day, it takes more work to hate someone than to love someone. And if you've already put that much work into not willing to try, then, you know, hey, continue doing what you're doing, because we're going to continue to fight and we're going to continue to stand for what's right. One of the highlights of the president's speech last night was the fact of him saying that he stands behind trans youth.
The onslaught of state laws targeting transgender Americans and their families. It's simply wrong. And I said last year, especially to our younger transgender Americans, I'll always have your back as your president so you can be yourself and reach your God-given potential.
And that is something that is important. And we should all be able to say the same thing. We have all gone through our struggles. We have all gone through our journeys, and we know that they look different. Why not allow us to be able to go through our journeys and for them to look different and still be able to be held as a part, as a unit in this community, and not just for us being trans? Because, baby, whenever we transition, we did not lose our Black hearts. They still sing and see our Black skin first before they see anything else.
Well, we want to thank you both for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored, and we'll continue to follow this important topic. Thank you both for joining us tonight.